Hi everyone, I'm Danny CEO, and welcome to a brand new culinary edition of Do Just One Thing. And today, I call it Why Buy It When You Can DIY It? And what I'm talking about are your own DIY apple cider vinegar gummies. Yes, you can actually make them yourself, and if you know anything about apple cider vinegar right now, it is all the rage. And there's so many things that people love about apple cider vinegar. The one thing it can be a little difficult about it is that it's not easy to take your apple cider vinegar on the go. Can you imagine traveling with this? So one of my favorite things to do is to make these really delicious apple cider vinegar gummies, because you can take one or two or a whole bunch of them and enjoy your apple cider vinegar gummies wherever you go. What you start off with is some gelatin. So what I have here is unflavored gelatin, just 3 packets, which equals about 3 tablespoons. You can find vegan alternatives to gelatin too at the health food store, but you need something that's gonna be that binding agent that makes everything into that jelly form that we want in our gummy bear. So I just sprinkle 3 of these in here, and what we wanna do in this bowl is called blooming. We want the gelatin to bloom into a thick paste. Don't be scared by the paste. It's kind of ugly, but it's all gonna come together in the end and be a really beautiful mixture that you're gonna wanna chill, make beautiful gummies out of. The very next thing is you need a little bit of lemon juice. And what I love to do is just quarter them up, just like this. You can also just squeeze them regularly, but you need about 2 tablespoons of lemon juice. And what I've discovered, that equals about half a lemon, depending how juicy your lemons are. Here's the last one. One of the nice things about this recipe is that it's very forgiving. So if you have a little too much lemon juice in there, it's totally okay. It's all gonna come together. And then finally, because apple cider vinegar, if you've ever taken a shot of apple cider vinegar, you know it's very pungent, a little bit of sweetness, you know, as you say, a little bit of sugar helps the medicine go down. Well, so does honey. And what we're gonna do is put 3 tablespoons of honey in here. You can do an organic honey, you can do a raw honey, but what I like to do is just take whatever I have on hand and pour this beautiful golden mixture. You only need about 5 minutes of time to really put it all together, and it makes a whole bunch of gummies, which is really nice. Oh, and one more thing. We need water. So 1/4 cup of water to really help bring it all together. Now, I talked about how blooming the gelatin will result in something that's not so attractive, and I'll show you what you get. It's sort of this thick, gunky paste. It kind of looks like a sugar scrub you might use in the shower, but this is exactly what you want. And you might be thinking, we're missing something. Yes, we're missing apple cider vinegar. So what I've got here is 1/2 cup of apple cider vinegar and 1/2 cup of water. Just bring it to a boil, turn it off. We're just gonna pour this all the way on the inside. And then we're gonna incorporate it all together. And you wanna make sure that the gelatin is totally dissolved. There's no clumps in here. And as you can see, in a matter of seconds, I've got my mixture ready to go to be made into apple cider vinegar gummies. And by the way, I went online, you don't have to do this, and I bought these silicone molds in the shape of apples, but whatever silicone mold you have is totally fine. If you don't have a silicone mold, what you can do is actually repurpose like an empty juice container, something with the waxy inside, and just fill that whole thing with this mixture, and then open it up, and then cut it into little squares, you have little square gummies from that. Now we're just gonna fill our molds with the mixture, one by one, and just so you guys know, I have it on a plate. I learned the very hard way that if you pour anything into a silicone mold and it's not on a steady surface, when you try to pick it up, you make a big hot mess in the kitchen very quickly. And then into the refrigerator for about 30 minutes or overnight. I did one ahead of time, and this is what it looks like. So you can see, take this one out, that it is completely solidified, and they just pop right out. And you have a homemade apple cider vinegar gummy. And what do we say? Why buy it when you can DIY it? If you're planning on making some of these apple cider vinegar gummies, post it to your social media accounts and be sure to tag the Drew Barrymore Show in your post. And don't forget, we have so many recipes and ideas and inspiration at the drewbarrymoreshow.com website. And if you're even more inspired, you can find a lot more recipes in my own magazine, Naturally Danny CEO, now on newsstands.